Just like that great Alabama band once sang, song of the South, sweet humble pie, and you shut your mouth. Well, Northern Hemisphere teams have been yapping, and the Southern Hemisphere teams handed them some sweet humble pie. But before we get started, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so you know when we upload. Hey guys, welcome to Rugby Heads, powered by the Pig Athletic Club. My name is Sione, and joining me are regular rugby nerds, Nemanja Nandolo and Alex Ironside. Welcome, boys.
Hey mate, how are you, Tony?
Hey mate, look, before we get started fully into it, I've got something that I prepared early, because it's not very often that we're on this podcast where we all win, because lots of the time we're playing each other, but we've all won. So I'm just going to present you with my jerseys. I've got a Kiwi jersey on, ready to go for the Kiwis, and then underneath that, I've got a Brazil soccer jersey, because that's as close as I could get to a South African one. So there's the boys there.
Hey, Brazil won against Hong Kong. So yeah.
Under that, I got my Fiji training top, and then my Fiji training top, and then to finish it off, which I'll be wearing all night, the mighty Wallabies winning. So, look, I've been very hot sitting waiting to start the pod, but how good?
I said you said we all won, but Tom lost.
Hey, sorry, mate. Hey, mate. I'm Australian, South African, but
they won the hearts and minds of the peoples. Tonga.
Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry,
League and Union.
Yeah, I was watching.
That's your free rugby, mate. Sorry, mate.
I was watching you take off the jerseys. I'm like, you better not have a Romania jersey under there, mate. We're going to cut the stream. But yeah. Unfortunately, my Tongas didn't do well. But yeah, Romania's, mate, one of the best teams coming up. So yeah, they'll probably do the Wallabies next time anyways. But quickly to run down in today's show, we start off with our top performers of the week, our opportunity to give flowers to the players who stood out over the weekend's play. And then we go around the grounds, everything Autumn Nation Series. And then we pick our team of the week before we go into our viewers' questions. Nems, you want to kick us off with your top performer of the week?
Oh, mate, so many to pick from, so many to choose from. I don't want to go too much into the Fiji game because I think that's a show in itself. But my player of the week has to go to Wallabies prop Angus Bell. Had a blinder. I know a lot's been said about. I know we're going to go into it. I don't want to go into it too much, but Angus Bell individually probably the best prop around the park. He's fit. He looked energised. He was playing like a back. He was unreal. Beat 9 defenders most by any prop in a very long time. And yeah, he literally was one of their go-to. But yeah, mine is Angus Bell. So Belly, my old teammate as well back in the days. But yeah.
Ooh, friends.
Good shout, and we'll definitely get into it more around the grounds. But Alex, who's your standout player for the week?
Now, look, there's a lot been said about we're going to have to go with another Wallaby. You've got to give the Wallabies the flowers when we can. It doesn't happen very often. But a bloke that I thought actually opened the game up for a new guy starting was actually, his new nickname is Len Flicky-Tau, but Len Nicky-Tau, Lenny, mate. He was unreal at inside centre. I think when you have a guy playing 13 outside you who's never played a professional game of rugby union, to give him that much space just made Suwali look heaps better than not that he's not better, not that he's not good by any stretch of the means, but gave him all the space and the confidence in the world. He defended really well. He ran at the line well, and he opened up space. He took 2 defenders every time, and to win the game with that flick pass, he did enough to bring Marcus Smith in. I just think that's got to be one of the plays that's going to be replayed forever, that flick pass. But before that, just all this stuff around the park, really impressed. I'm so excited for the future 12-13 pair of the Wallabies. Looks like we might have that locked in.
Yeah, mate, exciting stuff. And we'll definitely get into that later. Nems took my number one pick, Angus Bell, but I had another number one. It was Tom Wright. I think this guy's been setting...
Yeah.
He was number one fullback in Super Rugby, and he's been playing well for the Wallabies consistently throughout the campaign. And, mate, these 2 line breaks from inside the 22, unreal. Most players wouldn't look to run inside the 22, but he definitely looked up, and both times there was tight 5 players ahead of him, and he backed himself, and it paid off. So, Tom Wright, mate, unbelievable. But then we'll go around the ground, starting off with the Wallabies versus England. Nems, what are your key takeaways from the game, and who stood out for you?
This is a new look Wallaby squad. They wasn't expected to play that way. They really did their homework on England, particularly around the ABC channel, around the rucks, and they just kept targeting, and it got to a point England just couldn't keep up. You know, I was really worried. So I saw Ikitau put on a post on his Instagram about Lenny, Ben Youngs, right? And his post. And then I was thinking, shit, he might do the same with us, because just that week before, we're all trying to think that Samu and Smoking Joe was going to be in the Senate. Yeah. And I was like, oh, he's going to be like...
He must have missed that episode, yeah.
Waiting for that, but yeah, he must have missed it. So, Lenny, don't go back to it, mate. But he was amazing. Like, far east, what he did, just what Ironside said. Everyone, the talk is on Smoking Joe. I'm saying Smoking Joe. I'm trying to get this to stick, right? But he, like, Smoking Joe, if it wasn't for Ikitau, no, I don't think Smoking Joe would have had the game he had in the backs. They just all connect. Tom Wright, again, you know, I'm always like him, but if he's playing at fullback, he earned his stripes there. And it just, you know what, it just takes one of those games to click, and it just clicked. I was a bit worried there towards the end, because they usually start well and then he just tends to sort of die off. But they just went to another level, and their bench, their reserves came on. Tate McDermott, he just brings that spark. Yeah. And I love that he brings that spark where Jake Gordon is sort of the mediator. You know, he plays chess, and then, you know, Tate comes in and says, F the script, I'm going to be playing checkers. And, you know, on the flip side, England, look, they pride themselves on defense. I'd be very disappointed to leak 40 points. We've got to take away. They scored 40. They got 40 points put on them in Twickenham. Still, Taniela Tupou still probably worries me a little bit. You know, I don't know if he's carrying an injury or whatever it may be, but, you know, for someone like that, we need to keep him on the field for as long as we possibly can. So hopefully he's okay, or whatever he's going through, whatever injury he might be carrying. But, mate, it was a spectacular game. And again, I think Smoking Joe playing well is a compliment of everyone else putting in the effort. Like, I know that it was all him and spoke about him throughout the whole game, and he did play well, don't get me wrong, but it's your Len Ikitau, it's your Angus Bell, it's Lucan, the Jake Gordon leading. They just Dylan Peach until he went off. I thought he played really well. So I dare say it's a bit early, but I almost think it was a glimpse of the potential the Wallabies can be. Yeah. And it was disappointing. And the one more thing that I wanted to add is they did it again by taking Marcus Smith out and putting him at fullback. I think that was the biggest. Yeah. Again, they didn't take him off, but mate, he needs to be playing at 10. I don't know why they keep bringing him off. Don't get me wrong, George Ford, great player, great, you know, director of the game, but it's 2 weeks in a row now. I just feel like they've just been let down by that momentum shift when Marcus Smith is taken away. They tried the efforts by leaving him on the field, but he's a 10, mate. Put George Ford at fullback. So, yeah. But, man, there's so much to cover. But, yeah, that was my take. And again, like the Wallaroos, I said this, you know, how they won their last when they were winning. Like, let us celebrate. Us fans celebrate. Yeah, I think for them it's just the next test. Like, worry about the next one, because they potentially could be creating history here. So, and I'm sure they've already, you know, forgotten about that game. But as for us fans, we're still talking about it.
I mean, I really got to eat my hat a little bit with Fraser McWhite and Harry Wilson. Like, not that I've always thought they were great players and good players. I just didn't know if they were going to be our 7 and 8 for the Wallabies. But mate, Harry Wilson's a big boy, right? And like, he's an 8, but you could also probably argue he's a 6 to play second row. But the way he covered in defence and the way he was there for that offload for his try, like, his work rate is through the roof. And it's so funny. I don't know the exact stat, but his tackles completed from when he was before to now when he tackles unreal. Like, that's what you need.
I've seen that.
That's awesome. And I think, mate, with Bobby Valentini in the back row and those two as well, plus for the first time in a long time, it feels like I wasn't really scared when we went to the bench. Yeah. Now we've got like a full kind of full contingent of players. Probably most blokes are fit now. We went to the bench and it added to it. Luke Hahn coming on added something. I thought Jeremy Williams was unreal. One of the best games I've seen him play. And it hasn't come out of nowhere, but like some of these blokes that you wouldn't have even thought about 18 months ago getting a crack. And everyone that was in the 23s contracted to 2025 as well. There's just so much to be happy about. But Smoking Joe, I know people are going to go on about him. Two things. One, it was like a catch-22. I was really happy he played well, and I'm so glad. But I was also really annoyed because all those leagueies start chirping up saying, if all the leagueies came over, the Wallabies are number one in the world. Fuck, that pisses me off. But there was a moment in that game, not the jumps, not the offloads, not the tackling, but one in the cover defence early in the first half, about 13 minutes in, you made a bootlace tackle that saved a try. That's unreal. Yeah. That to go from a sport in league where you tackle up high and you're in the wrestle in the fight a bit more to make a bootlace tackle, that's a bloke that's ready to be back in Union. And mate, just so exciting. Like, I was going to come on here and spray Ben Young, but he ate his hat at humble pie, which is awesome. That's what we all come on here. We all come on here with absolute dribble of opinion sometimes. Some of us have unbacked our professional careers, but Ben Young's got back into a professional career. But, mate, he's eating his hat, he's chocolate and chin. It's just good banter and it's good publicity for him. But, I think that my takeaway is we talk about how South Africa plays rugby. We talk about how Fiji plays rugby. And we talk about how New Zealand plays rugby. That was rugby that I grew up watching as an Aussie rugby. Yeah. Watching as a kid. It was running rugby. But it was it was Australian-style rugby that I don't reckon we've seen in a long time. We see glimmers of it. And, it's a start. We could get pumped for the rest of the tour. But that one game fills me with so much confidence moving forward. I was going to ask them quickly about Borthwick, and they were talking about the rush D that England had. What do you think that in a professional game, what do you think the rush D actually puts enough pressure on the players when they've leaked 42 points? Is that something that you played when you were at Leicester?
Yeah, we did it at Leicester and it worked really well for us, right? I guess probably going to another level, a bit different, but the rush defense can only happen at certain times in the game. You can't always keep doing it because you're gonna, for me, the only time a rush defense happens is when you make a dominant tackle and they're not over the gain line, right? That's when you start. That's when you can do it. Or you're on the edge. And we see that club rugby anyway. You rush up. That's where your rush defense come. I feel that they're doing it too much, but they can do it because obviously they're fitter, right? They can do it. But the problem is the more you do it, then it becomes out of sync. Players start going, well, hold on, and not everyone's fitter. Everyone's got different fitness levels. So I found that every time they were coming up, they were getting exposed because guys weren't on the same page. Maybe the first two, yeah. But then when, the players are different, right? So some players would be wired to be like, that's my thing, and then other players are wired to read the game. And I just think that's where probably the breakdown is like, okay, they've just got to be on the same page, because again, you get your locks who just, in any team or your 7-6, they're the crazy ones. They're fit. They'll run everywhere. It's like that at that level, but on steroids. Yeah. Legally. Oh, you get what I'm saying, metaphorically speaking. But that's where I think they go wrong. And then you see that, particularly out wide, they do it. And then, boom, all it takes is for that one pass. But then also England then tie themselves out. Well, teams will tie themselves out a lot because you're doing that. And that takes a lot of energy because I didn't do it, but I was on the wing. But you know what I mean? You can't, you've got to be on the same link wave. Otherwise, it's just, you're going to keep doing consistently, tire yourself out, and there's guys that are not on the same, like I said, link wave, and it's just going to stuff it up. And that's what happens. Look, 40 points. You'd think they would have learned from the week before.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I still think but England need some praise. Like that first 20 minutes was some of their best rugby. Chandler Cunningham himself, 2 tries in the first 20 minutes where they had us on the back fence. We looked woeful. I think turning point was around that 20-minute mark when I think Bobby led the line speed, sort of a few players where he just shot out of the line and put pressure on him and forced a mistake. And then we started getting a bit of ball in hand. And I think Belly needs more praise than. Because that was one of his best games I've ever seen.
Yeah. He's just playing with a lot of confidence, old Belly, and I think that's probably the game he needed. You know, like with all the injuries that he's had from the Tars to now, like, you know, he's had 2 sets of injuries, he's come back. I just think that's the game he needed, a performance like that to actually now elevate him and be Angus Bell for the player that he can be. Because he's a unique player. He's big, but he's quick. Yeah. He's, you know, he's versatile. His hands with the ball, you know, kind of like me, but I was on the wing. And he's still quicker than me. And he's quick.
He bumped Tom Curry, who's arguably one of the best tacklers in world rugby. Like that, and that was not from a running start. That was pretty much stand still, stand and deliver. Like, mate, I'd hate to tackle him. I'd get goosebumps. I remember when he scored a hat-trick against Norse in the Shoot Shield game, and they beat us by about 60 points that day in first grade. Watching that, fuck, he was good. He was about 20 then, 19, and he was that good.
Sydney Uni.
When he's playing for Sydney Uni.
Oh, right.
Sydney Uni.
Well, we beat him at Sydney Uni. But anyway.
Yeah. Far out. We'll probably get a sponsorship by Krispy Kreme with all the glazing going on in the Wallabies. But yeah. But I think I was gonna touch on what's his name, Ben Youngs, but Ironside said it. You know, he came out and put his hand up and said, you know. But what I was going to ask you then, what kind of person is he? Because he's only new to the podcasting games and people are only just seeing his personality. What kind of guy is he? Because most of us hate our scrum halves.
Yeah, like he's genuinely one guy you would love to get on the piss with or just be around. He's that guy that he hates ice baths, hates like anything recovery. He hits it straight in, straight out. He's honestly, like when that came out, it was so funny because that's him. But and you know what? And like Ironside said, this is what we do. We come on and we talk rubbish. If it bites us on the ass, so be it. And it bit him pretty hard, you know, don't waste my time. Oh, Lenny. But, mate, have a beer with him. He's actually generally a nice guy. Gets along with everyone. He's that guy. Yeah. Probably, you know, playing at Leicester, the amount of foreigners that would have come through that club since 2000, that's how long he's probably been playing there since. Yeah. You know, so he's really he's a good guy. So for that to happen, I was actually just cracking up about it. You could, obviously everyone's going handy at him, but, you know, it is what it is. We all do. We all make mistakes. I was happy that Ikitau didn't watch our last week's one because now he's my number 1, number 12.
All right, and then a bit of drama, a bit of off-field drama as well in the All Blacks and Ireland hype. Nems, what are your key takeaways from this game and your key players, your standout players?
Oh, how good was the haka? Let's face it was a subliminal message when Rico, let's all face it, when Rico's face, started doing it. Yeah. We're all sitting there just going, holy
the old subliminal message.
Yeah. Subliminal message, is that right? Honestly, when I saw the haka, I looked up and I was like, oh, wow. Yeah. Automatic, just went, straight on Twitter and looking at all the Twitter feeds. Great game. I just think, and we said this before, Ireland weren't the team they were. They just wasn't the team they was last year. And I said this, you know, obviously last week when, you know, not having someone like Sexton there. Yeah. I just thought their 10s they got pressured pretty heavily, and I felt sorry for who's the replacement that came on?
Frawley.
Mate, he had a crawler of a time, right? Poor bloke. He's come on. Old mate before him's having a shocker, and Frawley's come on and he's dropped 2 balls. He's got it. Imagine I reckon in his mind he's probably thinking, fuck me, hurry up.
Poor guy.
But no, it was just a great game.
Wasn't it Crawley for Frawley? Was it Crawley for Frawley?
Crawley
Crawley for, I can't remember.
Mate, I tell you what, old Frawley was keen to crawl off that field.
Whoa.
And no, but you know the good thing about the All Blacks were just consistent. They controlled the game really well. Damien McKenzie, hands down, one of my man of the matches. Again, it must have been the week of the 5/8. You know what I mean? it feels again. He was like a belly. You know, if there was a game that he needed to perform, was that one. He needed to have a big game, and it came against Ireland. Ireland, I was just more disappointed with Ireland. I just thought they didn't rock out. But even just looking at that team, it's not the team that we've seen the last few years. You know, when the energy that they have had in the past, and the All Blacks ate that up. And, you know, obviously Gibson Park played really well. I thought it would have been frustrating for him having, you know, an inexperienced 10 outside him. Ireland, they're going to struggle, I think, this autumn series. They've got obviously the Wallabies and South Africa. Or Argentina. And Argentina, you know, they're a team that can put it on. We all know what they're like when they've played Ireland in the past. So I think the biggest thing for them would be how they front up this week. New Zealand's scrum was actually better. You know, like I thought they dominated up front against Ireland. And but yeah, it was just a
Ireland really missed Targ Furlong at 3. Targ Furlong's massive miss for them. You can see him in the crowd watching, just wishing he was out there. And everyone's still shitting on Ireland. I still think it's there. They just need to make it click. They made it click a few times during Six Nations, but it's only. I think everyone hating on him at the moment is only going to fuel the fire that's coming. And I feel for Argentina this weekend. I don't think it's going to be an easy game for either side. So, but yeah, I think. I think Matt Hansen's going to have a big game this weekend, but we'll get into that in the review. But Alex, who were your standouts from this game? How did you see this game?
Yeah, look, I definitely think Gibson Park, like for a losing side at 9, he was my 9 of the week. DuPont's always going to be there, but I just think Gibson Park in a game like that, he was unreal. He really gave them a lot more opportunities than they probably deserved at times. True, and to keep a Kiwi defensive line, which is really good and tight, he still found gaps. So I was pretty impressed with him. D-Mac, obviously. But I just, like, on a few things that I've noticed in between the All Blacks game and the Aussie game for the Wallabies, is just some of the rules that I just want to see ironed out in this autumn series. I really like that new obstruction rule that you can't they were really big on it, that you can't change your line when you're chasing the ball back. And there's a few penalties for that, and I was actually pissed me off at the start because it was penalties, but I realised it's actually a good thing. It's going to make it there's going to be a contest for the ball, which will probably be safer. And then the use it rule for 5 seconds. We had 2 Southern Hemisphere refs not really doing the 5 seconds. It was 1, 2, 3, and then it was 1, 2. So, like, these 2 rules, I think, will open up the game more. Let's just hope they get fixed in the next couple of weeks. But on a really stupid note of that game, I really hated how they walked out to the field like it was a Champions League football game, and they were walking side by side holding hands. You got to sprint. In a game like that, I wanted the All Blacks sprinting out, getting booed by all the Irish, and Rico coming out. I really wanted that. And I just think, he's a villain. He might have got folded a few times, but Rico's got the last laugh on that one. Everyone wants to talk about getting folded. I actually think he had a pretty good game in the second half. I think he actually helped with it opening up. And, the All Blacks, and it's not like the best All Black side that we've seen in a while, but there's a lot of young talent. Like, Tamati Williams is only, like, early 20s. And they've got some good players that are coming through. Caleb Clark's young. I thought he played really well. It was just a good game. But I don't know if you saw the coverage beforehand, but I was watching the Kiwi coverage and they had Brian O'Driscoll on beforehand, Dems, and it had Brian O'Driscoll 13 test matches against New Zealand and it had 0 wins as his stats. They did him a
That's
bit
a
dirty
stitch up
before the game. But mate, Ireland #1 enemy in world rugby at the moment. I'm with my South African brothers who've been going. They go at each other in the comments. Awesome to see Ireland lose. They need to be humbled a bit, and I hope they get beaten by Argentina. I hope they don't win a game this autumn series.
I want to add to that. You know how, like, it's so funny how when the Tri-Nation, when the championships is on, like, the Kiwi supporters and the South African supporters, and they all go at each other, right? We just have a go at each other and like. But the moment we all head over to the Northern Hemisphere, I've seen the comments, man, the people that like, and I follow a lot of them, we're all backing each other up. Yeah. Like the Wallabies win, the South Africans and All Blacks like, beat that English, and then the Irish win. Oh my God, you think the South Africans, New Zealand's in South Africa, everyone just backs each other up. And then obviously South Africa won and we're all, and then when Fiji won, that's when I noticed it the most. Like, everyone come back. So, you know what? It's good to see that, we hate each other, but the moment we go over and play over there, it's like we all unite. So, I love this month. This as you don't really see it as a player, like you don't really, but as a punter, as a fan now, when you see it, you're like, oh my God. So it's good to see that for one month of the year we can come together and unite in harmony.
Yeah, just lucky Tonga's not part of that the top tier. So but Ironside, you touched on the refs. I was gonna say it in the Wallabies game because most of the game I was so frustrated with Ben O'Keefe's reffing. Only more so the penalties he was giving England. He was giving England penalties for turnover, but they were lying throughout the ruck, so our players couldn't even get to the ruck to clean it out. And he kept giving it away, blatantly looking at the Irish guys on the ground, impeding on our clean out players and just giving the turnover away. I'm like, is this guy for real? And then a few times, and then once or twice he did actually give us the penalty for it, but it's just the inconsistency. And Ben O'Keefe, mate, he's known in Super Rugby for some of these games.
I think it was happening in both games. I was noticing a lot. It was happening a lot in both games, and both those games is what would happen is Ireland or England would go for the ball and they'd just fly in to try and turn over, and then they'd hit the deck. They'd be lying on it, and then they'd get back up and have a second go. Once you're on the ground, you're out of it. You can't have that's hands on the ground. And they're letting them get away with it. It's slow ball, and I guess it's the Northern Hemisphere style. And I'll probably take back what I said about the South Africans probably, 2 months ago that they do that. They do it so differently. They actually, once they're down, they try and drive up through it, whereas I think the English and the Irish, they just throw as many people in there and they just hope that one of them's going to stay up. And that they were giving the penalties away for that. And it just makes it for a messy game, spectacle-wise, not taking my hat off as a Wallabies or Kiwi, North Southern Hemisphere. It's just not good for the spectacle. So, I think it's big work in that area for the refs.
I thought the Irish did well in that though, because who's the half in the first half for Cortez Ratama had he was under pressure at the ruck just because the Irish were doing that, like fine line, cheating, coming around the ruck, like connecting and then just wheeling their legs around the ruck. But mate, we'll get into that in the who we're going to pick in All Blacks 9 later in the preview. But
I just wanted to touch on the refs, like you said, like they're so inconsistent with the head to the shoulders, like the high tackles. Mate, like it's just. Like I can count how many times over the weekend where there should have been red cards, but it was like blatantly play on. Like there's just got to be a consistent call. You know what I mean? And I reckon it comes down to who's at the TMO because everyone's got a different opinion to it, right? So they need to fix that up too, mate. Having a laugh.
Yeah, and then lastly, before we move on to the Springboks game, after the game, Rico Ioane really quickly uploaded, and then his caption was the massive Mortal Kombat fatality. Put that in your book. It didn't go down well with a lot of the Irish supporters, but he broke the internet. Nems, there's a lot of old heads saying that, rugby union, the game for gentlemen, you don't need this sort of stuff. What's your thought on this type of new age showing their personality rather than waiting until you retire to writing in a book?
Look, I think there's got to come limit. Like there's a time and place, right? If you're celebrating on the field with 10 minutes to go and you're losing, you're an idiot, right? That's the start. It's like that's different. But I think. If you're doing stuff like that off the field, but you're actually, you're walking the walk and talk the talk. Happy days, you know what I mean? Like, and I think, I bet so many times Rico was probably wanting to say or do things on the field. And if you watch the field, like Ironside said, he got folded a few times, but he just kept his cool and he played. He played
kept
well.
on.
And then the moment, because at the end of the day, bros, it takes 15 to win a game, right? As soon as they won, he didn't do it. He did all his talk, like his celebration, through his post. And again, take it how it is. You know what I mean? But I'm all for that. If you're going to act like there's a time and place for it. And I just thought that was class because. Yeah, the fact that he goes, what did he say? Put that in your book.
Put that in your book.
Holy crap, that was that was second to Lenny's outburst. Ben Young's outburst.
It's all banter. It's all fun. Everyone's men. Always the old blokes want to have a go at it, but they're happy to just like talk about it in a book. What he's saying it now, so next time he plays them, he's got to wear it on the chin if they lose. So good on him. It's good.
Mate,
it's good for rugby.
I say play on. Even Cunningham himself, celebrating, doing that in the first half. I know it's early, mate. I think football do it well. You need to show that sort of character. NFL do it really well. Probably a bit over the top, but mate, I think it's entertaining for the fans, and we need more of it. So I can meme. I've got more material to meme. So keep them coming, lads. Okay, and then Springboks versus Scotland. Nems, takeaways, and who are your key players?
I told you guys last week that Scotland weren't going to have that, that luxury of running rugby, and they got out-muscled. They got, again, the referee was playing up. Reese, what about that red card call?
And old mate was impeding him trying to clean out, so he kind of fell. Yeah. I'm like, and then he got a red card for it. I was like, oh, wow.
That I think Scotland were hard done by there. I thought that was a G up. Look, South Africa was going to win. They just didn't need a help from the ref. Let's face it, the Springboks were going to win.
Yeah.
But the Springboks were just dominant, and I just thought the one player for me that stood out. I mean, Ironside will probably touch on this with the bench. I don't want that's all forward, so that ain't my talk. But the one guy that really impressed me. Well, I've always been impressed by that. He's got a good playmaking brain. Like he's a good playmaker, but doesn't play there. Is Willie LaRue.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that crossfield kick it did to
Makazolo Mapimpi.
Like to do a kick like that on the go, like that takes precision, and he just nailed it. And I just thought if you watch the game closely, you see he's actually doing a lot of talking in the background. So he's giving a lot of chat to Pollard, who's, makes, I'm sure as a 10 will make their job a lot easier. So for me, he was my standout. I thought, he doesn't get the praise that, he should get. I know our South African supporters most of them don't like him. I don't know why. He probably drank some of their brandies or something, but come on, he's one of your oats, Come on, you gotta love the bloke. Jesus. But no, he played really well, and again, I just was Scotland, I just knew that was going to happen. There was all talks about them being favourites and whatnot. I was just like, calm down, mate. But we seen that when you play against a great team, I was kind of happy that they lost because they probably would have went into that game thinking that they could play like that, how they did to Fiji, and South Africa gave them a bit of a gack up, or a gack on. So I was really happy. But again, South Africa were dominant, and I just thought, for me, my biggest takes were the refs.
Yep.
The refs calling that game. Like, I was watching after that sent off. I was kind of off the game, to be fair, because again, we all knew Springboks were going to win. They just didn't need help from mate.
Yeah, mate, that kick from Willie LaRue, it's like a quarterback throw because Mapipi wasn't in the corner. He had to run around to get that catch. It's unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable. Saffers, mate, give him some love. You guys, we've seen it in the comments. He gets the most hate out of all the South African players. Give him some love. Give him his flowers.
Yeah.
Come
on, mate. Don't be a bushman, mate. Come on.
Before Rusty puts Afalele Fussy back there next week, so I'll give him his flowers while he's there. Onside forwards, how'd you see it, and who stood out for you?
Mate, it was South Africa versus South Africa A. Because South Africa's in the Scottish team.
You're back in the NFB land.
But my Safa mans, I love them. But how can you plan for 7 forwards on a bench? And
That's
not just any 7 forwards, but to name it, just 2 off my top of my head: Sia Khaleesi and Peter Steph du Toit. Arguably one of the most diverse back rowers forwards ever, and how can you stay in the game for that long and then you just, here you go, we're going to put a world-class full pack almost on and expect you to win the game? I mean, I think Scotland's been building for something the last couple of years. They've been going all right, but, I mean, that's not even a full-strength South African side. I don't think that would be a side that they'd put up in a World Cup final, I think, and they are just continuing to dominate. Razzie is slowly becoming my favourite rugby personality of all time. Every time I see him talk about something, I've been watching a few of those Chasing the Sun docos. Mate, he's just the best. And
he's unreal.
How do you plan for 7 forwards to come on? It's like having an NFL team and you put on the special teams at the end and you go win the game with a winning drive. And mate, Steph du Toit, he's one of my favourite players of all time, and he looks like he'll never retire. He just looks young and fit, and he's still got it in him. Yeah,
mate, they're outstanding. And you guys have been a bit hard. I think you guys have been a bit hard on Scotland. I thought they did all right. 10 minutes to go. There's still only 7 7 points down, and they had a red card, so they were down a player for 20 minutes. I thought Sione Tupulotu was good. His little touches. Him and the South African centre that they've got there, Hugh Jones. He's actually South African, but he's playing for Scotland now. He's a smoky. He's a smoky, that Hugh Jones at 13. So their combination's doing well. But yes, they're always going to lose. South Africa, mate, leaving their best players there to come off the bench, they're always going to have a hard time. But
it's not allowed.
It's good. It's good to see. It's entertaining to see because we're not playing them. We're not playing them. We've had our turn. We can calm down now and see everyone else hating on us when we got smashed. Now it's their turn. So it's good to see South Africa just win.
We're all South African this week. We're all South African. We're all Kiwi. We're all Fijian. We're all everything this week.
Yeah.
Imagine being that forward in that Scottish team and refs calling sub, and you see all of those 7s come on. I'd walk off. I'd be like, hey,
just pretend you got an injury.
Shane, mate, I'm out, mate.
Got an injury, mate.
Like, imagine that. You Steph du Toit and Khaleesi run, you're like, fuck me, fuck you.
Well, that was a pretty good Scottish accent, mate. Can you do it again?
Oh, please, mate. Oh, fuck you.
But the Springboks train rolls on. Speaking of trains that started rolling, Nems, you want to update us on the Fiji versus Wales game? How'd it go, mate?
Oh, mate, this just literally was like, this just put the cherry on the top for, let's face it did for the whole week, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, South Africa was playing after, but we knew that we were going to. I don't think any of us, I didn't really watch it. I was too much celebrating, but I actually had a tear, to be fair. I actually had a tear to...
Is this the first ever win against Wales?
First ever win. I myself have played them a few times there and lost on many occasions. And so for them to go and win, it was just like you sort of felt part of the team, but you're not, obviously. I'm here with you guys. And...
Lucky you.
I just thought they needed that... I knew it was going to be a close game. It was just, I just thought I generally thought Wales would bounce back, but as the game kept getting on, it was kind of like they were losing gas. They were running out of gas. And I was like, geez, this looks like us back in the days. But Caleb Muntz had a cracker of a game. He literally, I think he single-handedly won that game. Semi with that red card, look, I know there's a bit if, but it was a hard one, I think. Obviously, made hot contact. Could he have got lower or bounced out? Maybe, but, who are we? We're sitting here, they're there. But to see, like I said, to have Waisnay the level and Tuisova in the centres, Tuisova, like, do you think spat off that number 9? I felt sorry for the 9. Actually, I think Tuisova went back to him and said, "Hey, mate, you're all right, mate. You're all right." Like this, but it was. But the one guy that I was really impressed with, and he's come a long way. He's not in the backs actually. He's in the forwards. Is Ronnie Maui. The front row for Fiji, plays at Sarries. He's come leaps and bounds in his game, and when he was there, he's one of the the anchors in the scrum, I guess. And I was really impressed with the way he played, his work rate. He's continually getting better. When I was there, he's obviously a young fella coming through, and now he's one of those older guys there, and. But across the park, they were just, for me, it was Caleb Muntz. I think, again, red cards and yellow cards, we've got to get them out of our game. We had 2 yellow cards. Yeah. Was it 2?
In the first 20.
2 yellow. You know what I mean? That's good with the win, but they've got to cut that down. But yeah, you know what? I actually felt sorry for Wales, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like when we beat them, I actually felt sorry for them because, I don't know, for just some reason I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But
you know what I mean?
There's one thing I think Fiji need to do is read the room. At the 80th minute, they got the turnover. And they're up by 5 points. And then they decide to try and play out from their try line. Kick the ball out. And they're trying to play. I'm like, just stop. I was like, just stop.
I've played with a certain Nadolo that's not on this podcast that tried to do that when we were up against Sydney Uni. Except he tried to chip and chase in their 22. Anyway.
Mate,
Fijians give you a heart. You'd love to play with them, and they're the best. I love playing with the Fijians, but fuck no, you give us heart attacks.
I still think we need a fullback. We need a proper fullback. I think against better teams, we're going to get exposed a lot in the back there, especially when we play someone like Ireland. They obviously got Spain this week, but if we're going to play someone like Ireland, they're going to expose the fact that we don't kick. That's my biggest worry is the fact that we don't have a kicking game at the back.
Yeah.
You can't run from everything, and better teams than Wales are going to kick a lot more down and just expect us to run it. And a few times we were lucky there. Like I said, I don't think Wales were up to scratch in terms of their defence. They were pretty broken, but a better defensive team, if, Fiji were running in that game and there were no primary supporters to get them to the ruck, it would be a few seconds before, they'd get. But against a better team, there's going to be someone there pilfering straight away. So, I just think we're still a bit shallow in that fullback space in that area. But look, I like the 10, 12, 13. I wouldn't be changing that. Frank Lamani's good. One in goal is good. I just think, fullback. We don't have anyone. You got Armstrong, Ravula. But I was hoping they'd get someone like Raita Matavuki.
Oh, Neepkins. He's injured,
Neepkins. But he's signed to the Force? No,
he's
where's he?
He's still the Highland, still there. But he had a bad injury at NPC towards the end of the NPC.
When he's someone we need there.
When you say Caleb Munns and that centre combo, mate, I think the turning point for me was just inside that last 10 minutes where they were midfield. Munns put up a bomb. And then the fullback for Wales, Cam Winnett, he caught the ball. As soon as he caught the ball, he also caught Tuisova's shoulder. And then Nathan Level joined in and counter-rucked. And then Makala, the number 22 for Fiji, picked up the ball and then they attacked the line. And then that's when they got that last penalty to kick on. But that Tuisova fend, holy! I know the try got pulled back, but that fend was.
And another thing really impressed me about Fiji was the fact that they could get into a kicking battle. Yeah. There's something they do. There was a phase there where every time they got it, Frank Lamani would just kick it back. They'd get it back. They'll just kick it back. And look, I know that's boring for anyone. Trust me, that's boring for Fiji. But the fact that they could do it 3-4 times and they actually won that kick battle, which was from that turnover. You know what I mean? Like they got the turnover as a result of that. I thought for me that was like I got a stiffy out of that. I thought it was so good to see because they're using their brains because now they're knowing we can play down that area and they scored. So, you know, to see that, which is un-Fijian-like, was, again, they're going to need to do that against bigger, better teams.
Yeah. But yeah, unreal win for the Fijians, claiming the part of Fijian blood I have after Tonga let me down. So toso viti toso. Oh whoa!
And that happened.
Whoa! We're getting an introduction here. Is that our Welsh correspondent there?
This is the bloke who's going to save Welsh rugby.
They needed saving on the weekend.
And how are you going to do that, Jake? Talk us through it quickly, mate. Talk us through it quickly.
Oh, where do I start? How long have we got? Do you know what worries me?
Spit it out, mate. Tell us what you think. What worries you, Jake? Talk us through it. What's going on?
Is we're going to get absolutely pumped by Australia, and it's going to be very embarrassing.
Where's the problem?
We'll start with the pack. Scrum was shit.
Yeah.
I don't know where we actually go with that. They got a good prop, Archie Griffin, but then not a scrummaging type of prop. Very good in the loose, but they could go with Henry Thomas to start off, the 33-year-old. Bring Archie off the bench, think he'd had a bit more impact. We've lost all physical presence. We've gone from the best back row in the world, in my eyes, Warburton, Lydiard, Faletau, to now we're starting Tame Plumtree at 6, who looks like a beanpole, no physical presence at all. And you're putting Jack Morgan on the bench, who's arguably one of the best back rows in the world at the moment. Morgan Morris didn't get picked, very good number 8. Tame Basham not picked, very good blindside flanker. Playing Ben Thomas at 12, he's more of a 10 in my eyes and should probably be starting 10 over Anscombe, because we're trying a 10, 12, 13 axis type of game, which isn't working for us at the moment with a bunch of young blokes. Max Llewellyn looked good. Cam Winnett is meant to be the next big thing, but can't tackle my nan in a hallway. And we've just lost Mason Grady, who's probably the only back with a bit of go about him. So Rio Dial come in now and he can't tackle either. So we're struggling.
We should point out that your nan is a hard person to get down. She's got a low centre of gravity and she can really
carry
pop
pretty
off.
hard if she has to,
Colin Jarvis. Do you think you're a chance against the Wallabies?
Well,
No, I don't.
What's your prediction? What's your score prediction?
Nah, I'm going to go 39-10 Wallabies.
Oh.
Wow.
We're just not physical enough. And I know it was against Fiji, but if Wallabies play like they did the weekend against us, we're screwed.
Yeah, fair enough.
Wales is one of the top rugby nations, and now we're a laughing stock. So.
Yeah, I like their kit. I used to swap a lot with their kit. I love their kit. When they were with Under Armour, though.
At least, At least our kit's good anyway.
Yeah, Under Armour is good.
Good stadium, good kit. Yeah.
And good night out.
good fans, good night out.
So they
Just can't fucking play footy, but otherwise, that's not important.
It needs to be a big shake-up in my eyes.
Can we announce officially on the podcast that you're putting your hand up to run on the Welsh Rugby Board next year? Can we announce that officially?
If I don't get selected in the Wallaby squad, I'll do it.
So we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait a few months.
Because I picked up a bit of form towards the back end of last season, so we'll see how we go.
All right, Flinny, mate, you're a legend. Thank you.
All the best.
Cheers, Flinny, mate. See ya.
The Wallabies, eh?
I didn't get that.
And then Argentina versus Italy. Onside, how'd that game go?
Yeah, look, I don't know what world the Northern Hemisphere pundits thought that Italy's on the same level as Argentina. Argentina is one of the best teams in like currently. Like they're better than Australia currently, and they didn't even have some of their. Pablo wasn't playing. Kramer wasn't playing. It was 10-7. It was 10-17 at half time to Argentina, and they lost. Italy did lose Capuzzo pretty early. I think is how you say it. The fullback for him. He's probably their best player of Italy, but man, Argentina ran away with that in the end. Like. Argentina's it's going to be hard. I'm kind of annoyed that they're going up against Ireland this week because I actually think that they're playing some good rugby. They were playing good running rugby. They've got their own little, the Puma flair, I think you could call it. But they've just got this good combo of like some big, big South African style forwards, but then they've got these zippy little backs that you don't really get the combo. Like there's no in between with them. There's not like they're not like massive ball runners in the backs, but they're zippy and get around them. And they dominated Italy.
Okay, and then France versus Japan. The French began the Ordination Series campaign with a comprehensive 52-12 win over Uncle Eddie's brave Blossoms. Unfortunately, there wasn't much blossoming going on for the Japanese, but they were pretty brave not to throw in the towel at halftime when it was 31-0 down to France. Key players, obviously, Antoine Dupont, still calling him best player in the world. Unbelievable. And then around the park, I thought the UBB boys did well. Louis Bielbiere and Moefana, they did well in the wide channels there. And then the other UBB for Japan, Tevita Tatafu, came on in the second half. Mate, he was at a tough game. He came on. One of his tries got disallowed, but not long after he ran in a pick six or a interception from 15 metres out and scored over his UBB teammate Bielbiere, who was chasing him. So, mate, Japan got a long way to go. I feel like they're going the wrong way with Uncle Eddie at the moment. Hopefully, Eddie can turn the tide and fix it up. Still some good signs with some of their players, like Dylan Rowley in the centres, but yeah, still a lot missing from the Japanese team. So hopefully they work it out. But France, we'll get into it soon, but they're playing the All Blacks this weekend, game of the round, and this one's going to be a cracker. So, but yeah, the Frenchies look good. The Frenchies look outstanding. Manny Merfel in the forwards also stand out for them. We'll get into that in the preview. But quick little rundown of other scores, internationals around the grounds. Chile continued their building off their form they got them into last year's Rugby World Cup with a big 44-14 win over Canada. Last year's disqualified Rugby World Cup team, Spain, blew out their cobwebs in Madrid with a 33-24 win over Uruguay. And then, I don't really want to talk about this game, but Romania upset Tonga 25-15. And we won't get into that at all. And the Tier 2 game of the round for me was the USA Eagles getting a bit of redemption over Portugal, who stole their spot in last year's Rugby World Cup. The Eagles scored a try in the closing minutes to send the Wolves packing battered and bruised ahead of their game against Scotland this weekend. And that game also ruined my multi. I put on an extra multi after we lost our multi, but then I put on the extra multi, 9 legs. It was playing over 100k for my 9-leg multi. So I only put $2.50 in it. And this game is the only game that didn't make it. I had Portugal 1-12. And if I had this game, I would have won 85k. So, bet responsibly. I only bet $2.50, so it didn't hurt. But, mate, almost got the bag off a $2.50 bet. So, but before we get into our preview, go into our team of the week from the Ordination Series, starting off with our loose head. I had Angus Bell. Anyone else have anyone different?
Nah.
So we'll lock in Angus Bell. And then at hooker, I had 2. I had Frenchie Beato Malvaka, and then from the All Blacks, Asafo Amua.
I had Amua.
Amua?
Yeah, Amua.
Okay, we'll lock in Asafo Amua. And then I had Tommy Dutoit from South Africa, scored a try and was unreal at scrum time as well. Cheating a little bit, but he got it done. The ref fell for it every time. So I had Tom Dutoit from South Africa at 3. Anyone else have anything else?
Yep. Yep.
Lock in. Lucky Thomas Dutoit. And then in second row, I had Manny Merfal from France and also Eben Etzebeth.
Yeah, I like that.
I was going to say Jeremy Williams, I think, played pretty well, but I'm happy to go with that as well.
Yeah.
Just because I'm an excited Wallabies fan, though. That's a factor you have to pull in.
Yeah, we don't want the whole team to be Wallabies, but yeah, Manny Merfal, he's pretty much Asterix Wallabies. He's one of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Manny Merfal and Eben, unreal, mate. He's unreal.
Brothers boy.
Yep.
Yeah, Eben is. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. And then at number 6, I had Bobby Valentini. Anyone else have anyone else?
Nah.
No.
Yeah, they're going to try and creep all the Fijian players in there, mate. So I see it in your eyes.
I'll wait till the back line comes.
So lock in Robbie Valentini. And at 7, you boys probably had something different, but I thought Fraser McWright was outstanding. More so all his support plays. And, mate, every break that Tom Wright made, next to him is this guy. And then all the other kicks, he was always in the vicinity, busy guy. Who did you guys have?
Well, for 7.
Yeah, I actually had Fraser.
All right, so lock in Fraser McWright.
Fraser for me.
And at 8, I had Harry Wilson or Jesper Visser.
Yeah, I was going to go Visser. Jasper Visser. Like, I know Wilson played well.
I guess we can't have a full Wallabies back row.
Yeah, you can't. But,
yeah.
But in saying that, Visser played really well.
Considering we're an Australian podcast, but yeah, Visser did, yeah.
We don't want to get abused by our South African supporters, eh?
We're going individual, not team. Just yeah. So yeah, we're going to go.
Right.
But we'll lock in Jasper Visser, and then at number 9, I had Anton Dupont. Anyone else have anyone different?
Honourable mention, we mentioned before, Gibson Park. I think if Ireland win, he probably played better.
All right. Honourable mention to Jameson Gibson Park. And at number 10, I had 3 names here that could have gone in. Marcus Smith, Caleb Munns. Marcus Smith, Caleb Munns, or Thomas Albanos from Argentina. Who would you guys put?
Look, unless
I had 4 letters and I had 4 letters. It's DMAC, DMAC.
Okay, yeah, he was there too.
Pretty unreal.
Yeah, now fuck them all. I've gone Caleb Munns.
All right.
Nem's votes first 2 votes, so we're going to have to go Caleb Munns, I think.
Look, it's not every day a second-tier nation is up there with you, with the big boys, right?
And he balled out.
You're a big boy now.
He balled out too, so...
yeah.
Nems, you might have heard this a few times before, but you're a big boy now.
Caleb Munns.
Well, Caleb Munns.
All right.
We all know. Okay, who do you have at 12? Here we go.
And at 12, I had 2 actually. I had Len Ikitau or Geordie Barrett. I thought Geordie was outstanding for the Blacks. All Blacks, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Lenny for me, 100%. I think that's the best game he's played in 12, and I think he changed the game more than Barrett did.
Okay, yep. Barrett did go into the bin for 10, so he was missing for 10 minutes.
Honourable mention to Tuisova. I have to put Josh's honourable mention.
Honourable mention to Tuisova and Latu from Tonga as well. I don't think he even played it. At 13, I had 2 as well. I had Hugh Jones from Scotland and Joseph Swali'i.
Put Smoke and Joe in there for clicks and for everyone to get angry.
He also could have been Natha level. He's sliced through the defense a few times. Not clean breaks, but he sliced. So there's 3 names there, Nems, for you to pick. Smoke and Joe.
Who's the other one?
Natha level, Smoke and Joe, or Hugh Jones.
Look, Smoking Joe, great debut. Happy for him, but like in terms of knowledge, like for this, neither level played pretty well.
Yeah,
right?
Very well.
He did. I think he was a bit more hands on, and look, not taking away Smoking Joe. I'm sure he's going to have a lot more smoking games.
Yeah,
but I just think you've got to like look. Who's the 13 for the Springboks? What's his name?
Who cares? He didn't make our team.
He played really well as well. I forgot his name. But neither level. I have to go neither level at 13.
Yep.
Sorry, Smoking Joe, mate. Sorry, Smoking Joe. I'm sure you're gonna probably make the team of the week from 1 to 15 against Wales this week. But
So yeah, all we've got Nathan Level is gonna it's gonna get some angry guys there in the comments section. But I think if you watch Nathan Level play on the weekend, you put his name down there.
Yeah.
Also, special mention to the number 12. I probably could have put in Esterhuizen from South Africa.
That's what I was talking about. That one,
big 12 man,
from the Sharks.
big body. Yeah, he was a danger at 12. Yeah,
he used to play for Harlequins, eh?
I'm not too sure, mate.
Yeah, he did. He's at the Sharks now, mate. I played, mate. He's hard to tackle.
He's a big boy. He is a big boy.
He's the one that came out and said, "I'd rather play 17 caps for my country."
That's him. Yeah.
But it was funny because 2 years ago,
that is good shit.
Yeah, I know. But 2 years ago, when I was living in England, they approached him. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'll play for England if South Africa don't want me." So it was pretty funny to hear that.
Okay, and
funny how things change.
And then on the wings, I had
he obviously wasn't good enough then, but now he's good. Yeah, right. That's funny.
We'll clip that up, send it to South Africa, mate. And then on the wings, I had Makazola Mapimpi and Louis Biarri from France.
Yeah, my comrade Mapimpi. Must be him, eh?
All right. Anyone different in the wings?
Yeah, happy with that.
Yeah, we'll lock them in. And
surprisingly, I didn't pick the Fijian wings. Surprisingly,
yeah, because one was
which is be a first time ever, I reckon.
Yeah, I know. Jesus.
Well, Sammy probably could have got it if he didn't wasn't sitting down, down for 70 minutes. Yeah. And then fullback, I had Tom Wright, and then Buffon said he could have had one. Cruz Maria as well had a good game, but I thought, I'm going for Tom Wright. You guys?
Wow, look, he got exposed a few times in the back. Marcus Smith kicked behind where they scored out of position.
Oh
play,
yeah,
which
true.
Is fine,
yeah, I missed
which
those.
Is fine. Twice.
I thought
actually, you guys are obviously watching the highlights and not.
No, I saw it, but I'm like, who's meant to be there? But then you feel
I haven't said mine yet.
Now I haven't
said mine
yet. I would go. Yeah. No,
I'd go none of them.
Yeah.
I'd go Will Jordan. I think Will Jordan didn't drop a ball at the back. He came forward in attack every time. Was one of their solidest, so solid at the back for the All Blacks. I actually think that was everyone.
All round.
He wasn't exposed at all in that game, and no one was talking about him because he did everything right. If you see how many high balls he took under pressure, he was unreal.
Oh wow!
I think him at fullback is a scary prospect.
Oh wow! You put your heart into this one, mate. And solidus, I never heard that word, but we'll go with that one, mate. And Nems, if you're backing him, we'll lock in Will Jordan. If you want to back him.
No. Look, don't get me wrong. Tom Wright played really well. Don't take away
Sam, I think he played well.
Don't cut me out and make that
cut him up.
So, what I'm saying is, guys who are watching this, he played really well. He just a few positional plays. He was just out of position. Whereas our mate in the All Blacks team, in the fullbacks, who's about, I think 5 tries away from beating Jonah's record or whatever. He's not, but he's close to it. He had an all-round game. Will Jordan had an all-round game. So
unreal game.
That's if we're going on stats.
Right.
Will Jordan. But if we're going on fan base, Tom Wright. But, come on.
Okay, we'll lock in Will Jordan.
If we're going on fan base, we're picking 1 to 15 South Africans.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Willie LaRue, mate, he should have got a mention too. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. No, Willie.
Yeah.
Love you, man.
Big Willie.
So that's our team, guys. Make sure you let us know where we effed up there, and we'll read out some of the comments if you want to roast them next week.
Please don't go hard on on Smoking Joe. He's got years ahead of him, guys. Just let him enjoy his man of the match.
Yeah,
which should have been Ikitau, but
whoa! Should have been Angus Bell, but yeah, that's fine.
All belly, yeah, Licky Tau.
Yeah. Anyways, match preview and match predictions quickly. Ireland versus Argentina. Who we going for here?
Argentina.
1 to 12.
Yeah, Argentina 1 to 12.
Argentina. We're gonna go Argentina, bros.
Okay. All right. I would have gone Ireland, come back, but we're going to go with you guys. Argentina did look really fly, and they didn't have their big name players against Italy. So, okay, we'll go with you guys and lock in Argentina 1 to 12. Okay, next game, big game. England could go no wins here. Springboks are saying hello to our Pommy friends in England. Who are we going for here, mate?
Do we have to wake up for the game? Like we know who's going.
I still think England need Freddie Stewart. I don't know what they're doing, bird boxing that guy. They need, especially with the new laws, no escorts, which so we're going to go South Africa, 13 plus?
12 plus.
South Africa, 13 plus.
13 plus.
Definitely.
Ooh, okay. We'll lock in South Africa, 13 plus. And if England don't win any of these games, do you think your mate Borthwick might be back to Sarries or wherever, was it, Leicester?
Yeah, I don't know. He could be out of a job by Six Nations. So.
Yeah. Oh, because, it's not looking good for English if they lose this game, which they're coming against the newly number one team of the world, South Africa. Yeah. So we'll go.
Can we say that now?
Yeah, because they're number one now. So we'll go Springboks 13 plus. 13 plus. And then France, game of the round, France hosting the All Blacks. What's this one looking like? This is going to be a toughie. France have a lot of young guns that they bled against Japan, but are they too young against a decent All Blacks team? That's what I'm saying in the forward pack. But mate, the Frenchies backline, unreal.
Yeah, I'm gonna say France 1-12. I think.
What?
I just have a feeling. I just think that after the Ireland game, I don't know. I think this is the time you get the All Blacks.
Cody Taylor's back. Yeah. Bodie,
I think it'll be
Bodie's
close.
back.
Karifi's in the squad. Sam Cane, no Sam Cane.
Wait, we'll go on that. Who would you put at 7? Because they've got Lakai. They've got Lakai as well in the squad.
I put Savi at 7.
That's a good point. Remember when Sam Cane went off? And then put Artie at 7 straight away. The next play, Savi got that turnover when Ireland were attacking their line. So that could be a goal. And then Sammy Benny at 6 maybe, and Wallace at 8.
Yeah, that'd be. Yeah, that would be.
I'd still love Karifi.
Wallace at 8 would be awesome.
Yeah,
I'd love him again. I think he'd be on the bench. I reckon he'll come.
Also, do you reckon France will get over the All Blacks?
I just have a feeling that this is the time you get the All Blacks at home. Not a World Cup year. They've had a big game against Ireland. I don't know. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a couple points either way.
I don't know,
it's a smoky one, that one.
I think you need to check your blood pressure, mate. Your Kiwi blood's it's very thin at the moment, mate.
Oh, my.
I'm not even from New Zealand, mate.
This is going to be an easy one.
I think the All Blacks.
Yeah, this is their 5.
I think so too, but I just
in a close one.
Okay. I'll sec. Ask me again.
no, too late, mate.
All Blacks 1-12. All Blacks 1-12. All Blacks 1-12. I'm on. You've convinced me. All Blacks 1-12.
Okay, you go All Blacks. I would have gone France 1-12. And them two, where did you go?
No, I'm gonna back the All Blacks. I just think they're 5 on the trot or 6 on the trot. They're travelling well. They've got Cody Taylor back, veteran. I forgot about that. Yeah, I just think he adds his leadership and his mana.
Yeah,
will bring it on. So I don't know. I just think, and you know what? I reckon their assignment this week will be to shut down DuPont. And I think.
Do you start Roygard?
No. Roygard, yes, start Roygard.
You start Roygard, yes.
Sorry, I would be starting him. I thought he came on when he came on against Ireland. He probably should have started.
He has to start.
He has to start. He's just a bit more solid there. But I just think they'll be doing their homework on how to shut down DuPont. And I think if they're going to try and – the only way I feel, one of the ways they can stop from happening is double shoulder tackles, driving him back and not getting, France not getting over the advantage line, because that's where he comes alive, is when France get over the advantage line in attack. Yeah. And they get quick ball. New Zealand need to be securing that ball, double tackle shoulders, drive them back, or, slow that ruck down so that he doesn't get away. Once you take that away, that's one of his games. And we saw that against Japan. They just, over the advantage line, he was just playing touch again. So,
all right.
And New Zealand are a smart team. I think they're a smart team. Then they'll be definitely, because I think you take away DuPont's energy, which is hard to. I think you take away that. I think that's a big dimension of their game.
All right. Big call, but we'll lock in the All Blacks 1-12.
Reece, I know, but I don't know. We got to do it.
All right, and then Wales hosting Australia. Wales not doing well at the moment. The coaching staff had a bit of a muck up there as well.
It could go either way. Australia could still be on.
I think it's going to be Wallabies, but it's going to be 1-12. I don't think it's going to be 13 plus. I don't think there's a Wallaby side that's going to go to Millennium Stadium and put a big score on them. I think it's going to be 1-12.
Do you think we're changing up the lineup because it's a long tour? We don't want them playing every 4 games like our strongest team because they're not going to last. They got Skelton, Samu.
Yeah, Tane Edmonds will start. I reckon he'll come up. He'll start.
That's a good shout.
I reckon Tane Edmonds will start. Harry Potter will come off the bench. I can feel this coming because Peach is out. So I reckon someone like Harry Potter Peach is out.
Who's starting? So Mac Jorgensen's starting on the wing.
Yeah, I just feel that you don't want to move Smoking Joe. I think you want to keep Smoking Joe 13 and just get him used to playing with those two. But expect some changes.
Yeah, Bobby V needs a rest, I think. Wilson's already
Bobby
out.
needs a rest.
Wilson's out.
So
Wilson's out. Yeah. So I hope Charlie Cale I hope they give Charlie Cale a nod. I love to see Charlie Cale get a nod in this game.
Ali Alatoa will start.
He did well.
To the bench.
Allen did well. I got to eat my hat on Allen too. I was hating on him early in the season, and mate, he's done well. So it looks like the work with Mike Cron's doing well.
Yeah, so we'll after this, I'll just give Mr. Schmidt a call and tell him what we just spoke about.
Thank you, mate. In conclusion, are we going all Wallabies? What's the 1-12? It sounds like we're going 13 plus here.
I reckon 13 plus. If they play like that against England and open them up, game over.
Flinny said 13 plus as well.
13 plus, yeah.
Yeah, 13 plus. All right.
Thanks to Flinny. Let's go 13 plus.
All right, lock in Australia 13 plus, and then 4 more games. We've got Scotland hosting Portugal. Scotland 13 plus.
Yeah, they'll go back to
Scotland
rugby.
Scotland 13 plus there, and then Italy hosting Georgia.
Georgia didn't look too good against the All Blacks 15. So I'm gonna go Italy.
Yeah. But that wasn't their full team though.
Italy.
It was hard to tell which Yashvilis were playing for the Georgians because there's a lot of blokes.
Also, this is a big game because
if anyone,
Georgia's always wanted to join the Six Nations and wanted to swap with Italy. So this is one of those games. So what do we say, boys?
Who's home game?
Italy.
A safe bet, Italy.
I'm going to Italy 1-12.
1-12, okay.
Yeah, it'll be a close game. That's another game that could come bite us in the arse, I reckon.
Lock in Italia 1-12, and then Spain and Fiji locking horns.
Oh, I'm worried about this game. This is a game I'm the most worried about.
Have you played in Spain or Portugal in one of these games?
Yeah, I played in Portugal. We nearly lost, but we won. But what I'm saying is, I'm getting nightmares from last year's World Cup where we were on a high.
Yes, true.
And then we came tumbling down. So I'm so worried that if I say Fiji, we're going to lose.
Nems,
I was hoping we don't even talk. Can we not
one.
talk about this? Can we not even just brush it? Who's Tonga playing? Let's do Tonga. Who's Tonga playing?
Tonga's next. We got to put what's a bet? Fiji. Okay, you stay out of it.
I think Fiji 13 plus. It's a new age of Fiji. They've got a professional rugby team. They don't just have Nems flying in from Italy or France or Randwick training. It's a new era professionalism at Fiji. They're playing with Fijian flair, but with structure. I think they're going to do them 13 plus.
I would have gone 1 to 12 because Spain looked decent against Uruguay.
I actually watched that game.
Spain was meant to be in the World Cup last year. They were meant to be Portugal. It was just because of technicality with Kiwi player playing with no passport.
Standard.
So, okay, we're going to go for onside here, and we'll go Fiji 13 plus.
Look, I'm Fiji through and through, but I just
Meow.
I'm getting nightmares from last year.
Okay, and then last game, probably game of the round. We have the Freedom Fighters, America, USA, against Tonga. Oh my goshhness! Tonga got up in the PNC, but yeah, this could be a tight one.
Oh my goshhness!
Did they beat the USA in the PNC?
Yeah,
yeah, but just
yeah, no, it wasn't convincingly.
But wait, no,
that was Canada.
Tonga's,
that was Canada. USA played Samoa.
Oh yeah, USA played Samoa. So that was
we might lose this one.
I always get those two confused.
Yeah.
Not Tonga and Samoa, USA and Canada.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, lucky, mate. Yeah, you're lucky, mate.
Oh, mate, it's a long tour for old Tonga, and USA looked like they're coming back. I think USA 1 to 12.
What are you saying, Nems? What are you saying, mate? You know, Tonga always waiting for your answer, mate.
You know what? I don't know if AJ McGinty is still playing. He plays for Bristol. If he's playing for USA, they're going to win. But
he's not playing.
My head is saying USA. My heart is saying
telling me no.
Yeah, I'm going to go Tonga. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Tonga 1 to 12. I'm going to back that.
1 to 12.
I'm going to back my
They're
section.
playing in France, right?
Yeah.
They're playing in France.
Home
a lot
game.
of those boys play in France anyway, so they'll be used to it. Oh, please.
Yeah.
I just hope this all comes to fruition.
Nah, let's go, boys.
So-
Hoka.
Hoka Tonga, come on, boys.
Yeah, if
Light
not-
pole for life.
Let's go, light pole. Okay, lock in Tonga 1 to 12. So lock in those picks and also make sure you bet responsibly. I only did $2.50 last week, so make sure you keep it small, mate, and small margins. And we've got a bonus episode this week. Fonz and I went through the Super Rugby teams, squad announcements, and we picked our top 6 predictions for next year's playoffs for Super Rugby according to these squads. Nems, Ironside, who's your top 6 predictions for Super Rugby?
Crusaders.
Okay, yeah, back in there.
The Blues.
Yep.
The Waratahs.
Tars stacked, yep.
The Chiefs.
Chiefs, yep. 2 more.
The Hurricanes. Like, in no particular order.
Yeah. And then 1 more.
I'm going to go Fiji Drua.
Oh my gosh, man. I know you're coming back to Queensland, mate, but we might close the fence there, mate. We might stop you at the airport.
No. You know what? Hey, Drew, I got a job there next year, mate. All right? Gotta keep my employer happy.
All right, so we'll lock them picks for Nems and we'll round back next year when the top 6 is locked in. Onside, who's your picks?
Every Australian team.
I'm going to do this in order.
Wow.
Big dog.
I'm going to do this in order. I'm going to go Blues.
Okay, back to back.
Chiefs.
What? In order?
Tars. Canes.
Yep.
Reds.
Yep.
Highlanders. I think that the Highlanders had a bad couple years. I think the Highlanders are going to be good again, brother.
Yeah, they look.
What about the Brumbies? None of us said the Brumbies.
Well, Brumbies didn't really pick up many players where everyone else did.
Anyone. Yeah.
Yeah, but Dark Horse the Force, I reckon.
Yeah.
Mate, honestly, like
Reds,
Cronny's got
Reds,
a good.
mate.
Yeah, I know the Reds too, but Cronny's got a good roster down there. Mate, those guys need to be playing finals footy, otherwise they're the biggest waste of time.
Yeah. My hot prediction is
I'm just
Fiji
gonna say-
is
I'm
going
gonna
to be
say
last.
this. Yeah,
Fiji's
go.
going to be last. I looked at their squad. They didn't pick up many, and Gideon Salah was just announced that he's off overseas. So, yeah, I'm saying, and Moana picked up some gangster players, especially Adi Savea. So,
We'll
I'm
still
saying,
beat 'em.
okay, mate.
Wait, I don't want to say this too loud, but I'm going to say I'm really excited for the Waratahs team. This one
We
didn't
all
say too
know,
loud,
Ironside.
but I'm really,
We all
really-
know.
I'm really excited.
Mate,
I'm
they're
really
stacked.
excited.
Need to check the salary cap over there at the Waratahs too. That team's too stacked. But yeah,
Salary sombrero over there, no caps. Just a
No
sombrero.
Eastern suburbs.
all right, and that comes to the end of the pods, boys. Shout outs.
Yeah,
Oh,
got
whoa,
two.
whoa, whoa,
One
before we
quick
go-
shout
actually,
out to
sorry,
ex-North player.
Sorry, start again, mate. We've got the viewers' questions. There's only two viewers. Oh no, we'll cut down the other two there, Hedy. We've got one viewer's question from our main Smoking Tino. His question is: would Smoking Joe be better at fullback than 13?
Nah, 13.
13?
Nah.
13.
13.
He's proved that. He's showed that in his first test.
He's
Okay. Yeah, and his combo with Wright actually
can
looks
offload
decent.
better from there.
yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, there's your answer, Smoking Tino. Thanks for sending question. Everyone else, some of your questions that I didn't read out were a bit too roasting some of the players. But yeah, if you got any other questions, send them in, and yeah, we'll read them out next week. But shout outs, Alex, who's your shout out for the week?
Yeah, quick shout out to Jimmy Brown, James Brown, former Norse player. He's now a cop in Fiji. He, what was the name of the cup again? They played the
Sakuna
Army
Bowl.
every year, but
The Sakuna
yeah,
Bowl.
he won the Sakuna Bowl. Sounds like college football for the Fiji police team. But Big Jimmy Brown was a stalwart of North. Loved playing with him at the back end of his career. Great player. Quick shout out to him, and then quick shout out to me. I haven't had a carbohydrate in 5 days. I'm on the no carb diet, and I'm struggling through it. But I'm going to be skinny and maybe playing in the centres come round one of probably realistically 4th grade or 3rd grade, but still counts. So quick shout out to me and my 5-day diet so far.
Mate, I was going to say you look skinny, but yeah, I was just waiting for you to say it. So yeah, congratulations to yourself, mate. But Nems, who's your shout out for the week?
I actually don't have one this week. I thought I'd give it a rest.
No love. Okay, no love from Nems.
Yeah, no love.
My shout out is to the Project U Group and the fundraiser ball, the Fur Ball. It's a fundraiser ball for Movember and men's mental health. The Fur Ball will be on next weekend in Sydney and then the following weekend in Brisbane. It's a good excuse to dress up and support a great cause surrounded by good people, plus Ironside. Make sure you get your tickets, and we'll put the link in the description for both the tickets and the U Group socials. So doing some good stuff there, boys. That was a long one, but we got through it. Another weekend jam-packed of rugby this weekend. Make sure you rugby safely, guys, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining in, boys. See you
Sir
later,
Tony,
guys.
Sir Mike.